Àní ààrẹ kámà lọ sọ́yọ́ lọ Canada. Wọ́n dẹ̀ tí ìdè wọ́n bọ̀ wọ́n tí ìdè ṣáwà ní síìtì. Tún kámẹ́rà jáde. Ń ṣe ọ̀nà ló fún mi lọ́nà ẹ̀wọ̀ yẹn. Ọ̀nà ló fún mi méjèèjì. Fóònù àlọ́ fún mi méjèèjì. Kámẹ́rà kan láì ní.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The leader, please confirm quorum. Okay, all right. The next item.
Next item, Mr. Speaker, is message from the governor.
No message from the governor.
Next item is other announcement by Mr. Speaker.
No announcement.
Next item is petition and correspondence.
No petition.
Next item is matter of urgent public concern, Mr. Speaker.
I believe we have one from the minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, matter of urgent public importance. Urgent call on the executive arm of government and security agency through improved security surveillance and architecture to nip in the bud the recurring army bandit attack occasioned by the recent Kishi Igbeti Igbo Road attack on innocent people of Irepo, Olonsogo, and local government areas, and empower the affected local government to strengthen local government security outfit. I, Honorable Waliu, and Honorable Lukman Orelope, co-sponsor. The House. Note, with the absolute concern in the state of insecurity in the country today, which call for collective action and responsibility of all Nigeria, be the key stakeholder in the government or ordinary citizens. The commitment and dedication of our gallant soldiers, other security agencies to protect life and property of citizens against banditry, kidnappings, and other criminal activities, as well as protection of territory integrity of Nigeria, should all time be appreciated and encouraged with necessary support and information to navigate the challenges. It is an established constitutional fact that the maintaining peace, orderliness, and security of life and property of an average Nigeria is one of the fundamental objectives of the government. But the fact remains that the government at the federal, state, and local government level has relented in discharging this singular responsibility in fulfillment of a civil and prosperous nation, being the dream of our forefathers who fought for Nigeria independence. Government at all levels should stop the blame game syndrome that security architecture lie at one government level more than the other, but should rather take decisive and proactive steps to address security challenge and confronting us collectively, irrespective of ethnic or party affiliation. It is also a known fact that the security is local and should be treated as such with all sincerity of purpose by the government. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, note that within the space of 3 plenary sittings of this Honorable House between Wednesday 3rd and Tuesday 9th June 2026, members have raised motions on security-related issues alone at different sittings. The signal and alarm for the urgent need to re-strategize and remodel our security architecture in the state by all policymakers, executive and legislative arms to achieve a safer society. Mr. Speaker, sir, the effort of this institution is in drawing the attention of the executive and security agents to scrutinize situation in our various constituency demonstrates our commitment to people-oriented representation. In other words, the House must not rest in it on oath, but continue to echo the plight and agitation of constituents in this hallowed chamber, especially when it comes to security matters. Aware that recently a tragic and disturbed attack by army bandits occurred along Kishi-Igbeti Road on Friday, 12 June 2026, that a mark for the celebration of democracy in Nigeria. Some unpatriotic bandits attacked innocent travelers along Igbeti-Kishi Road. The incident led to the gruesome murder of Mr. Mashood Kayode, a staff of Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, IBDC, while several other passengers sustained very degree of injuries and currently hospitalized. It is disheartening to announce that less than 24 hours after this barbaric incident, on Saturday, 13 June 2026, another bandit attack occurred along the Igbo-Igbeti Road. Although no life was lost, but the people sustained injury. These two unfortunate attacks have thrown families into mourning and further heightened fear, asserting and among residents commuter, farmer, trader, and investor who ply these routes. Further aware of the growing presence of armed criminal elements within the forest corridor surrounding the Old Oyo National Park, to which the attention of federal government and the state government has been drawn on several occasions. Even the recent attacks are not insulated. There have been series of kidnapping, killing of innocent citizens, and other criminal activities that have continued to threaten peace and economic activities within the area. The effort of security agencies, especially the Nigeria Police Force, Amotekun Corps, Nigeria Army, local vigilante group, local hunter, and other community-based security operatives, are not going unnoticed and commended in responding to the security threat. Despite limited resources and numerous challenges, they continue to demonstrate courage and commitment in protecting our people. Observe that the unwavering commitment of His Excellency, Governor Seyi Makinde, to securing lives and property of citizens and residents in Oyo State through his consistent support for all security agencies in terms of provision of patrol vehicles and other logistics to enhance security architecture of the state is highly commendable. The government, under his watch, has taken several steps to improve security across the state. However, the recent incident clearly indicates that more urgent measures are required, particularly in the Okeogun axis and within Irepo, Olonsogo, and Orokwe local government. Mr. Speaker, resolve that His Excellency, the Governor Seyi Makinde, A, commended for his commitment to securing the life of citizens and residents in the state through provision of patrol vehicle and other logistics support to the Nigeria Police Force, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Amotekun Corps, and other security agents in the state. B, urge as a matter of utmost priority to empower chairman of Irepo local government, Orelokwe, Olonsogo local government, and other local government within the volatile Old Oyo National Park corridor with necessary funding and logistical support to equip local security operatives such as Amotekun, local vigilante, and hunter who understand the terrain, the people, and dynamic of local security. C, implore to direct the executive assistant on security to establish additional security checkpoints and patrol and deploy security personnel along Kishi Igbeti and Igboho Igbeti Road and other flashpoints within Okeogun region. Regular patrol and strategic checkpoints will help monitor movement, deter criminal activity, and assure road usual. Number 2, the relevant government agency in collaboration with Irepo, Olonsogo, and Orokwe local government be ought to clear bush along Kishi Igbeti Road, Igboho Kishi Road, and other major routes within the forest corridor for improved visibility and making it difficult for criminals to hide and ambush travelers or carry out attack. 3, the traditional ruler, community leader, religion leader, stakeholder, youth group, and concerned citizens be employed to continue to speak out and collaborate with government and security agencies in the pursuit of peace and security in the state as a collective responsibility. 4, Committee on Security and Strategy, Local Government, Chieftaincy Matter, and State Honor and Environment, Water Resources and Ecology to interface with the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources, the Nigeria Police Force, the Oyo State Security Network Agency, Amotekun, and the chairman of Irepo, Olonsogo, and Orokwe local government to assess the level of compliance with the resolution of this House and report back to the House within 4 weeks. Mr. Speaker, we beg to submit.
The leader.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, permit me to move for a point of order. And my point of order is to suspend Order 8, Rule 46(3) of Oyo State House Rule, in order for this honorable house to entertain comment, debate, and additional resolution on the motion of urgent public importance as moved by Honorable Waliu from Kisi Repo, Olorunshogun local government. This new colleague has to submit.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Babalola Sukomi Samson, the Deputy Leader of the House Member representing Ebeda State Constituency. I rise to second as moved by the Leader of the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
A motion has been moved and duly seconded that Order 846(3) be suspended in order for us to entertain deliberation and debate on this matter of urgent public importance. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Comment, Honorable Cephas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Olorunshogun Cephas Rahman. I represent Oyo East, Oyo West State Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I want to start by commending the movers of this urgent matter of urgent importance, Honorable Waliu and Honorable Lukman. The issue of security has been one that we've been discussing in almost every sitting. And apart from the fact that all our areas, our borders around Okeogun, and even the whole Oyo National Park have been infiltrated by people of questionable characters, it's important for every one of us to be awake and to take action right now. I want to strongly support the motion, and at the same time I want to urge that the executive be one. I want to start by also commend the executive governor of the state for the huge investment in the state security system and for the coordination that we have witnessed in the past 1 month or thereabouts that we had the attack in Oriri. The governor has been up and doing, and we've seen from all indications and from what we have access to as members of the House of Assembly that the government of Oyo State is doing a lot to ensure that they rescue the victims of kidnapping. Apart from that, it's time for us to also urge the executive to consider setting up a joint security task force that will focus mainly on the old Oyo National Park and the adjoining local governments and villages, because the Okeogun area, the Oyo area, the Ogbomoso area that are being affected by the terrorism issue, there is one common denominator, that is the old Oyo National Park. They all share border with the old Oyo National Park. So can we have a special security system whose duty mainly will be to focus on that national park until the time that they will be able to make it uncomfortable for people of questionable character to reside in that place. That is one. Number two, resolutions without follow-up, strong follow-up will not work. It's important that at this moment we call on the House Committee on Security, headed by our own Honorable Mobaje, to, as a matter of urgent importance, visit the affected areas, particularly Orire, for oversight and ensure that they come back to the House and give us a report of their that they come back and give us a report of their observation. Thank you very much. They will return safely by the grace of God. Thank you.
Honorable Babalola.
The Right Honorable Speaker, sir, my distinguished colleagues, Babalola Abiodun is my name. I represent the good people of Ibadan Northeast Constituency 1. While I appreciate the mover of the motion, Honorable Waliu Salami, Honorable Jimo, I need to also appreciate the Right Honourable Speaker for yielding the floor to be able to flog this issue that has to do with insecurity. And I can tell you we cannot overflog it, especially when the life of people is at stake. I don't know what we can give in exchange for the value of life. I can't just understand. And anytime we discuss this, probably when we're talking about it, it can be easier. But may we not be a victim of the same. Then they will be able to know how grave it is. I want to commend His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde for the beautiful work he's been doing. And I said it in different fora that if not because of the establishment of Amatekon and keeping the same, the level of insecurity would have been worse. And I can tell you that up to this moment, the government of His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde is still on top of the game. I know some of us would have seen one Facebook artist, Vidian, that came around of recent. He asked for two things from His Excellency. He asked, when are we going to have these children back and the teachers? And what is the plan? Those are the two questions, summarily. And I would encourage not only the citizen of Oyo State, the citizen of Nigeria to watch out for the reply of His Excellency. It was apt. It was a statement of a real leader. He even said to the extent of the fact that if it takes to exchange his life for these people, he's ready. And this is very, very instructive. And the people in the National House of Assembly, we knew that the House of Rep were able to pass the issue of state police, and the buck rests on the buck of the Senate. And we also use this medium to charge them to be able to speed up the actions. One of the statements that His Excellency made has to do with the fact, okay, you can instruct the CP, the Commissioner of Police, on a particular task, but he has to go and meet the IG for approval. And yet, you said he is the Chief Security Officer of the state. Inability to make sure that the state policing is entrenched weaken the governor of any state. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this so that the National Assembly can hear that these people are not resting. Look at the motion that Honorable Waliu put in place. On the 12th of June, this same month, that was when the attack on the travelers was. Then on the 13th again, the following day, another one. And I want to believe that these are the incidences that were recorded. A lot that are not recorded, off record. So the earlier we try to push this at the national and at the state level, the better for all our citizens. Mr. Speaker, thank you for yielding the floor.
Honorable Jimo.
Comment in your life, I'm still forget. Right, Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I'm Lukman Ishawa by name. I represent the group people of Oyo State constituency. In line with the comment and legs being added to the resolution of this matter of urgent public importance, Myself, I want to strongly align with added resolution by Honorable Cephas Rahman that you have a special security squad, perhaps to station in this most affected area. Having them on ground, obviously I believe it will go a long way in ensure the safety of our people, lives and properties. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Has the motion been moved and seconded? Can someone move motion to adopt? You know, after the stepping down of the order, you have to at least second.
Yeah,
Who seconded?
Yeah, I second the motion. Thank you.
Okay, now I seconded it. Okay, that's fine. A motion has been moved and seconded, but just to make clear what has been discussed, there's been an addition that the state government, through the state governments, all the security operatives should come together to look for ways that we can better protect the forest. I believe that we have a forest guard, but they have also been discouraged. Earlier this year, if you remember, I believe there were about 4 forest guards that were killed. Was it 4 or so? And 5 of them that were killed in Uriri. And since then, I believe that they might have abandoned their station. No, but the question is that it's about the park. It's about the forest.
This Oyo National Park is being manned by federal guard. It's different from the forest that the state is being controlled.
So what forest is the state controlling? What forest is the state's?
We have our own different forests that are this year.
In this one, it says that within the motion,
the state has its own. This Oyo National Park is under the jurisdiction of federal government.
Now, is it the same as the old Oyo National Park?
Yes.
But this motion is talking about old Oyo National Park.
Yes, it's under federal government control.
So then, it's the federal government's responsibility for the request that Honorable Cephas has requested for. You said that there should be a joint.
Like we have a task force, a special task force, similar to Operation Bust, similar to the new one that was recently created for violent crimes, but with a focus mainly to ensure security around the perimeters of the Odo National Park. Around the perimeters of the Odo National Park, working within the local governments that surrounds the Odo National Park, so that they can flush out the bad elements in the area.
Okay, so what we can do in that case is that the House Committee on Security should look into the possibility of that kind of task force being set up. And they can also look into I believe there was a new arm of civil defense that was mainly established for forest, and that's agro rangers. And let's find out what the status of the agro rangers are. 1, how many personnel the agro rangers have in Oyo State, and let's find out whether Amoteku can also have such an arm, as to an arm of Amoteku that will just be strictly for the forest. Chairman, are you with me? So the idea is that the House Committee on Security should investigate what the status of agro rangers for civil defense is now, in terms of personnel, in terms of the activities or its existence. I remember there was agro rangers that was established maybe like 4 years ago or 3 years ago, but we are not sure if they are operational. And then if also, can Amoteku also take a leaf, like the idea of having the way the civil defense has agro rangers, can Amoteku also have an arm that is just focused on, forest security?
And they have those new
Who is this agro rangers that you're talking about to Amotekun?
Those new intake Amotekun, I think that is the reason why they employ them there.
For forest guards.
To man the forest in our state. But we need to call them and ask them what they have in the table so we can be able to know where to.
Okay, so you put it as part of your report, because if you look at the last resolution, it says that at the Committee on Security and Strategy, Local Government Chieftaincy Matters and Environment, Water Resources and Ecology to interface with the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources in Nigeria Police Force, the Oyo State Security Unit to Amotekun, and I believe they should also add the civil defense to this, since agro rangers is in question. In that last resolution, Chairman Narration will assess the level of compliance with the resolution of the House and report back to the House within 4 weeks. That means that you already have to report back to the House in 4 weeks. And within that 4 weeks, you're also expected to do on the site assessment of the hotspots. The hotspots, especially coming from, even from Uriri down to Betty all the way, you know, all these hotspots. But I advise you that you should go in the morning, and you should also go with some level of security
We are
for yourself.
for that, sir. So we now release another file for that second one now.
That one is something we'll discuss.
No problem, sir.
So,
noted.
so what will happen is that you have to give a report back in 4 weeks, and the leader.
Instead of us dropping the issue of the special security force to man all those border community, I will have suggest that the House will have called on federal government to set up a special security force to man all those forest community within Oyo State.
All right, it can form part of their reports. I believe they should go out to find out what's happening, then give us a report.
Thank you very much. I believe we cannot overflog this matter. Just like the leader has rightly said, it's a very good idea. But at times, just like we have federal roads in our states, we cannot always wait for the federal government intervention before we take a decisive step that will bring about the safety of our people. Just like we have, wait now. Just like we have Operation Burst, comprised of the civil defense, army, police, and the likes. They will have more special squad combination compared to having the forest rangers alone. So because these are bandits, it has to be a very serious combination, other than being the agro rangers alone or the forest guard alone. Yes, it's never bad to have to call on with the state has been doing its own. We call on the federal government as well, but it's very, very important the states take an immediate action to ensure the safety of our people.
Okay, so in that case, in as much as we cannot discuss all security issues in public, the committee should at least find out what we are doing about securing the border towns, the towns that are close to the forest. Find out what the state is doing about it. We've been seeing an increased amount of security threats, you know, especially to those communities that are border to the forest. Let's find out what actions have been taken. Let's find out how effective this new arm of Amotekun is that are supposed to be equivalent of agro rangers, but for Amotekun, let's find out how effective they are. Let's also find out what we can do to support them even moving forward further. Then this situation that this matter of urgent public importance has brought about, let's find out what the security is also or has done about it. It depends on if it's in the future. Then also, we cannot do all these things without having a resolution to the federal government, you know. So, in any case, an addition has also been an addition to the amendment has also been passed, that's especially for the special task force that will guide, the communities that are closer to the forest, the hotspots. The resolution, as it goes to the state government, should also be transmitted also to the federal government through the will it be the Ministry of Interior or the police force? We should find out the appropriate MDA to channel our resolution to, because it's very important that we get it right. Instead of sending it to people that cannot take action, we should send it to people that we believe that at least can take some action. But as Honorable Jimo, yeah.
It can be sent to both Inspector General of Police and the Ministry of Interior.
Yeah, okay. That being said, we'll be waiting for the reports on the Committee on Security Strategy, Local Government. The Committee on Security and Strategy. You guys are to go out. The last resolution is another resolution. It's different from the resolution. Also, resolution 4, although that's C2. It says that the relevant government agencies, in collaboration with Urepo, Olorun-Shogo, and Orelope local government, be urged to clear bushes along Kishi-Igbeti Road, Igbo-Kishi Road, and other major routes within the forest corridors for improved visibility and making it difficult for criminals to hide, ambush travel, and to ambush travelers and carry out attacks. But the problem is that by the time you clear a bush should grow again, especially during rainy season. So I don't know how practical, the issue of clearing bushes really can come to life in this situation. And how long is the road, that you want to clear the bush, Honorable Jimo?
Thank you very much, sir. I think it covers about 26 kilometers. 26
kilometers?
Yes. But for one side, the other axis, that is from Igbeti to Kishi, is 50 kilometers. But clearing of the bush is not a problem. That roadside, it's not grasses that are growing there. There are trees. If trees are bulldozed today, they cannot grow in the next 1-2 years.
So you say we should fell trees?
Yes. So that at least people coming will be able to see from afar.
So at least the distance from the main bush to the road, you'll be able to see.
Yes. At least 100 meters each side.
Okay, all right. Maybe we can just amend it to, instead of just clearing bushes and trees along that road. I don't know what the posture of the Ministry of Environment will be, since we just inaugurated the Oyo State Climate Change Commission or Committee. Because one of the things that the committee will be saddled with is for us to avoid cutting of trees as much as possible. But I'm sure within the Joint Committee you'll be able to resolve that issue. So that means that for the reports that we'll be expecting in 4 weeks, according to the resolution, is the Joint Committee. So what we'll do is that we'll take 3 members from the security, we take 2 members each from environment and from local government. In the situation whereby the chairman of the environment is already a member of the Committee on Security, we'll get an extra person to replace you, or you can be you and that person, then the Committee on Security can bring 3 people. Or if you're included in the 3 people the Committee on Security is bringing upon, then you cannot bring another 2 from. So altogether it will be 7-man committee, and it's this 7-man committee that will do the work as to going to the hotspots, the communities that border close to the forest, and to give us a report back in 4 weeks. Yeah, you go with them. And you're engaged with the local government chairman in those communities, in those areas. So that means that before we take off, we have to agree on the communities that will be visiting as the House of Assembly to do our oversight. I am aware of another incident that happened some few days ago in Honorable Jimo's constituency, but because of security reasons, we've decided to be quiet on that. We have to visit all these communities and give the House a feedback in 4 weeks. The motion has been moved and duly seconded. Those in favor of the resolution as within the motion, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Next item.
Mr. Speaker and esteemed colleague, next item on the other paper is personal explanation.
No personal explanation.
We are now in the order of the day paper, Mr. Speaker. And the first item to be considered in the order of the day paper for this sitting is report of the Committee on Information, Media, ICT and Public Affairs that interface with the Oyo State Agency for Youth Development on the development of a detailed, feasible.
Is somebody available to read it, because I don't see the chairman here? Okay.
On the development of a detailed feasibility, funding and implementation blueprint for the establishment of Oyo State Digital Talent Revolution Initiative. OYK held /10/96/26. Following the decision of the House on Tuesday, 5th of February 2026, report of Committee on Information, Media, ICT and Public Affairs that interfere with the Oyo State Agency for Youth Development on the development of a detailed feasibility, funding and implementation blueprint for the establishment of Oyo State Digital Talent Revolution Initiative, Oyo DTRI, to be presented by Honorable W.K. Akintayo Oluyole, Chairman.
The chairman.
The Right Honorable Speaker, sir. Fellow honorable members of this hallowed chamber, I'm Honorable Wahid Akintayo, member representing Oluyole constituency, and the Chairman House Committee on Information, Media, ICT and Public Affairs. Committee report. Report of the Committee on Information, Media, ICT and Public Affairs that interfaced with the Oyo State Agency for Youth Development on the development of a detailed feasibility, funding and implementation blueprint for the establishment of the Oyo State Digital Talent Revolution Initiative, Oyo DTRI. Preamble. Pursuant to a resolution of the House on Tuesday, 5th February 2026, the Committee on Information, Media, ICT and Public Affairs interface with relevant stakeholders on the development of a detailed feasibility, funding and implementation blueprint for the establishment of the Oyo State Digital Talent Revolution Initiative, Oyo DTRI. The committee met with officials of the Oyo State Agency for Youth Development on Thursday, 26th February 2026. Findings. Arising from interactions with stakeholders, the committee findings are as follows. The establishment of the Oyo State Digital Talent Revolution Initiative, Oyo DTRI, is feasible, realistic, and achievable if existing hubs across Oyo State are upgraded as follows. Youth Development Center, Ososami Okeado Ibadan, which is proposed to be the Zone 1 hub and flagship center. It will feature state-of-the-art facilities, co-working spaces, and an innovative incubator. The 5,000 square meters facility will house specialized laboratories for software development, data science, UI/UX design, and cyber security. 2. Youth Development Center, Doba, Oyo, Oyo Technology Hub, is proposed to be Zone 2, and it will operate a dual model to ensure accessibility across both Ogbomoso and Oyo towns. Each hub will have 50 workstations and training facilities for 150 concurrent learners. Training will focus on practical skills locally relevant, including e-commerce, digital marketing for zones, economic, profile which is heavily agricultural and commercial by equipping youth to develop technology systems, supply chain apps, and agric e-commerce platforms. This initiative will support 500 trainees annually, creating digital solutions for agricultural value chain. 3. Propose Zone 3 will be Okeogun Digital Skills Center, Shaki with a sharing satellite center. The Shaki Digital Training Outpost Zone 3 recognizes unique rural challenges and will adopt a hub and spoke model. The central hub in Ishayin will serve as a main training center, while the satellite locations and mobile units will extend to reach remote communities. 2.2. Oyo State Agency for Youth Development has demonstrated strong institutional capacity in youth engagement and program delivery in partnership with THX22 Foundation and other private sectors. And other private sector partners. The agency has successfully trained over 5,000 youths in program design and digital related skills. The agency has also successfully implemented major youth programs, including the Davido Life Tour, Ibadan, with over 25,000 attendees, the Oyo Youth Summit, with over 5,000 participants, and enterprise skill development. Training involved over 500 graduates across the 33 local government areas. This achievement demonstrates the agency's institutional capacity to coordinate large-scale youth development initiatives. It was revealed that despite these successes, the agency encounters constraints in providing empowerment tools, startup support, and job linkage opportunities, resulting in many trained youth being unemployed or underutilized. Several international organizations provide grants and financial support for youth digital development initiatives. These include the World Bank, Africa Development Bank, United Nations Development Program, European Union, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. These organizations support programs focused on youth development, digital innovations, entrepreneurship, and technology development. The Oyo State Digital Talent Revolution Initiative has strong potential to attract substantial international funding if properly structured. Effectively, engagement with international development partners requires dedicated personnel with specialized skills in proposal development, grant management, and partnership coordination. The technical requirements for implementing Oyo Digital Talent Revolution Initiative, Oyo DTRI, are within the reach of the state infrastructure and institutional capacity. Major towns across the 3 senatorial districts, Ibadan Metropolis, Ogbomoso, and Okeogun region, have expanding 4G light network, coverage, and dedicated broadband services, and offline enabled learning systems can address connectivity gaps in rural communities. Structured job placement pathways are essential. For the success of the initiative, partnership should therefore be established with local technologies, companies, and national corporations, digital outsourcing firms, and global remote job platforms to ensure a seamless transition from training to employment at the entrepreneurship. Financially, hardship is a major cause of dropout among unemployed youth. Undergoing skills training programs, integrating an earn-as-you-learn apprenticeship scheme that allows trainees to undertake real-world digital micro tasks, participate in supervised industry projects, and earn income while undergoing training will enhance program retention, provide financial sustenance, and remote practical exposure. The Oyo Digital Talent Revolution Initiative, Oyo DTRI, should adopt a hybrid training structure comprising centralized e-learning platform for statewide digital training and a network of physical innovation hubs across the 3 senatorial districts for practical hands-on training, mentorship, and collaborative learning. This structure will ensure statewide accessibility, inclusiveness, and effective skills development. Recommendations. Arising from the findings, the committee hereby recommends for the approval of the House as follows. That 3.1, the executive arm of government through the Oyo State Agency for Youth Development be urged to 1. Establish Oyo Digital Talent Revolution Initiative, Oyo DTRI, as a flagship youth intervention program in the state. 2. Put necessary measurement in place towards making provision in the next budget to support the takeoff and sustainability of Oyo Digital Talent Revolution Initiative, Oyo DTRI. Create a unit with dedicated personnel skilled in proposal development, grant management, and donor coordination to effectively engage international development partners and private sector. Provide a conditional stipend to encourage training participation and performances, and to implement the Learn as You Learn apprenticeship framework, enabling training to undertake supervised industry projects and digital micro tasks for income while in training. This approach will reduce dropout rate, provide financial sustainability, promote practical exposure, and ensure a seamless transition from stipends support to income generated from digital task earning. E-commerce implementation of the initiative using a zonal structure to ensure balanced statewide coverage as follows. Zone 1, Ibadan, Metropolis Flagship Hub. Zone 2, Ogbomoso, Oyo Axis. And Zone 3, Okeogun Region. Develop and deploy a centralized e-learning platform with offline-enabled modules to bridge connectivity gaps in rural communities. And institutionalize structured job placement and pathways by enabling strategic partnership with local technology companies, national corporations, digital outsourcing firms, and global remote job platforms to guarantee training transition from training to employment and entrepreneurship. Lastly, the executive arm of government, through the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, be urged to prioritize Oyo DTRI in subsequent medium-term expenditure frameworks to guarantee long-term sustainability beyond the initial takeoff funding. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to report.
The leader.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, permit me to commend the chairman House Committee on Information, Media and ICT for a report were presented. And may I move that the report as presented be received by this Honorable House, and the content and the resolution there be adopted as a working tool of this Assembly. Distinguished colleagues, and so submit.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I write to second the motion as moved by the Leader of the House that the report submitted by the Chairman of Committee on Information, Media and ICT and Public Affairs on this report should be received, and the recommendation in it to be adopted by this Honorable House.
A motion has been moved and duly seconded that the report be received and the resolution within this report submitted by the Committee on Information, Media and ICT be adopted as a working document of this House. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Next item.
Mr. Speaker and esteemed colleague, next item on the order of the day paper is another committee report. Report of Public Account Committee on consideration of report of Auditor General for State on the account of the Oyo State Government of Nigeria for year ended 31st December 2020, 2021, and 2022 respectively. OYHA /10/97/26. Pursuant to a directive of the House on Tuesday, 13th of May 2025, report of the Public Account Committee, PAC, on consideration of report of Auditor General for State on the account of the Oyo State Government of Nigeria for the year ended 31st December 2020, 2021, and 2022 respectively, to be presented by Honorable A. Owolabi, Ibadan North East 2, Chairman of the Committee.
The Chairman of the Committee, please go through the preamble and the recommendation, please.
Good afternoon. The Right Honorable Speaker, members of this distinguished House. My name is Honorable Lushola Adewale Owolabi. I represent Ibadan Northeast Constituency 2. And before me this afternoon I have a committee report. It's a committee report of Public Account Committee on the consideration of reports of Auditor General for states on the account of the Oyo State Government of Nigeria for years ended 31st December 2020, 2021, and 2022 respectively. 1.0 Preamble. Pursuant to the directive of the House on Tuesday, 13th May 2025, the Public Account Committee, in compliance with provision of Section 125, subsection 5 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as altered, and Section 37 of Oyo State Audit Law 2021 as amended, consider the statutory audit report of the Auditor General for State on the account of Oyo State Government for years 2020, 2021, and 2022 respectively. 1.2 The committee, together with officials of the Auditor General for State, organized a legislative hearing, provide engagement with ministries, departments, and agencies, MDA's officials on various audit queries contained in the report for the purpose of ensuring transparency, probity, and accountability. The hearings were held from Monday 9th to Friday 13th March 2026. Our findings. In view of the legislative hearing and interaction with MDAs on the review and interpretation of Auditor General's report on the account of Oyo State Government, and the committee findings are as follows. Some of the ministries, departments, and agencies of government affected with the audit report reviewed include the Office of the Governor, Oyo State House of Assembly, Office of the Head of Service, Customary Court of Appeal, Oyo State Judiciary Service Commission, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Ministry of Justice, Health, Ministry of Agric and Rural Development, Ministry of Environment, Natural Resources, and Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. Ministry of Trade, Investment, and some other ministries. In the year under review, the Directorate of Finance and Accounts in some MDAs are culpable of issuing checks in advance before fund receipts in the bank account. This results to huge deficits in cash book balances that cumulated into long list of unprecedented checks. The audit report revealed that the Directorate and Administration and supplies in almost all MDAs affected with the audit report for the year under review failed to maintain accurate and updated inventory lists and asset register for recording of government assets such as office furniture, equipment, motor vehicles. Without inventory lists, there is high risk of loss, theft, or mismanagement of government properties. Directorates of Finance and Accounts in some NDAs fail to maintain payment voucher register, contrary to Financial Regulations number 905. This may lead to inadequate tracking and monitoring of financial transactions. The fifth finding was that there was a significant reduction in issue of excess and extra budgetary spending on approved budgets for year 2020, 2021, 2022 compared to audit reports for years before that. The 2018 and 2019 audit report recorded about 65 incurring excess expenditure on overhead and capital items, while 24 MDAs incurred expenditure without budgetary provision, extra budgetary spending. In the current audit report reviewed, the only areas where excess expenditures was recorded most was personnel costs. The reason for this was the statement of 3 years outstanding promotion for years 2017, 2018, and 2019, approved by His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde in the year 2020, in order to motivate Oyo State workforce to ensure productivity in the civil service of the state. The implication of the above is that the Ministry of Finance, which controls the public expenditure through enhanced release of warrant, effectively monitored budget release through an appropriate budget tracking mechanism that prevented unnecessary excess expenditure on overhead and capital expenses. That findings brought to us the fact that there has been an improvement in our extra budgetary spending in the states over the years. Another finding is that the 2020 audit report reviewed the outstanding cumulative loan granted to some MDAs, individuals, and parastatals by the state government, amounting to 959,553,000 naira, 333 naira 43 kobo as unrecovered loans. In comparison, the balance of loan unrecovered as at December 31st, 2019, as contained in the report of Public Account Committee earlier presented before this House on Tuesday, 25th February 2025, via 2019 audit report, was 1 billion. That means there was a reduction in the loan given out before 2019 compared to 2020, 2021, 2022. And 73,219 naira 43 kobo. This means that between 2019 and 2022, audit report, the state government through Office of Accountant General was able to recover 125,919,886 naira from debtors. in the Oyo State Pension Board, out of the 9 computer tablets found missing, according to the audit report, it was reported that only 2 computers tabs were in the possession of staffs but had become scrap, while 7 tablets were recovered from the former board members. The efforts of the Oyo State Judiciary Commission to recover 2,761,205 naira 11 kobo overpaid as pension allowance to late Honorable Justice Akinleye Adejare Sanda in 2021 has not yielded positive results. The overpayment was caused by the late notification of the demise of the Honorable Justice. Then the outstanding agric loan of 51,774,178 naira 24 kobo given to farmers, cooperatives and union through the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development under CBN Commercial Agriculture Credit Loan Scheme since 2013 were yet to be recovered from the beneficiaries. On outstanding issues, on the purchase of shares by the Oyo State government from Odua Investment Company Limited, Wema Bank PLC in 2010, the unresolved investment dispute with Wema Bank PLC concerning the 200 million naira investment made in 2005, the Wema Register denied the state share certificate. Also outstanding in Oyo State investment in Fuma Agri-Produce Limited in 2009, valued at 450 million naira, which was not listed on the Nigerian stock as at the time of investment. Which the Auditor General brought forward to 2022. Audit report as unresolved matter. The 12th issue, the findings was that the Oyo State Investment and Public-Private Partnership Agency, OISIPA, responded to the above audit query for the agency and has not been created as at the time of the investment, and no file or document relating to the purchase of investment could be retrieved from government archives and records within the agency and the Secretariat Annex. Further efforts were made by the agency to contact the retired officers who was directly in charge of those investment matters at that time, but all attempts to reach improve abortive as he has been out of reach since retirement. The findings goes on, and there are tabulations of the report and interpretation of Auditor General report on the account of the government of Oyo State of Nigeria. Report is being tabulated for members to see, but there are recommendations by the committee, which I'll flip to. Arising from the findings that the legislative hearing on the consideration of Auditor General's report and committee hereby recommends for the approval of the House as follows: that the executive arm of government, through the office of Head of Service, be heard to advise the Directorate of Administrations and Supply across MDAs to maintain accurate and up-to-date inventory list and asset register of government assets in order to prevent high risk of loss, theft, or mismanagement of government properties, and that Office of the Accountant General be employed to advise the Directorate of Finance and Accounts in all MDAs to properly maintain departmental vote expenditure accounts, DVA books, and payment voucher register in compliance with the financial regulations. The Ministry of Finance be commended for putting in place appropriate budget tracking mechanism for year 2020, 2021, and 2022 approved budget, which prevent unnecessary excess expenditure on overhead and capital expenses as shown in the audit report reviewed, and that the Office of the Accountant General and Ministry of Finance and Justice be heard to use the instrument of state powers to recover the outstanding loan of 959,353,333 naira 43 kobo granted to some MDAs and individuals and government parastatals as contained in the audit report, and that the Oyo State Investment and Public-Private Partnership Agency, OISIPA, be commended for effectively managing the current investment portfolio of the Oyo State government in 33 public quoted companies, which attract substantial dividends to covers of the state government. The Oyo State Pension Board be employed to intensify efforts to recover 7 computer tablets carted away by former board members on or before 30th September 2026 and prevent future occurrences. And that the 6th is that the Oyo State Judicial Service Commission be employed to expedite action on the recovery of overpayment of pension allowance to the late Honorable Justice, which amounted to 2.7 million in 2021 from the family of the deceased on or before 30th September 2026, and that the amount be payable to the covers of the state government. The 7th recommendation is that the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development be heard to engage the service of the state government anti-corruption agency, Oyaka, in recovering a loan of 51,900,000 from defaulting farmers and corporate unions. The loan was obtained from the CBN Commercial Agricultural Credit Loan Scheme in 2013 by the state government, and that the Office of the Auditor General for State and Accountant General be heard to collaborate and accelerate the completion and production of reports of general purpose financial statement for the year ended 31st December 2023 and 2024, and the report of the Auditor General on the accounts of the government of Oyo State of Nigeria for the year ended 31st December 2023 and 2024, and transmit the same to the House of Assembly for further legislative scrutiny in compliance with the provision of the Constitution and other extant laws. And that the Office of the Auditor General for State be employed to monitor compliance of affected MDAs with House resolutions on all outstanding audit queries and reports. Same to the House. Mr. Speaker, sir, we beg to report.
The leader.
Mr. Speaker and esteemed colleague. permit me to sincerely, Mr. Oluwolabi, please, marry your seat. Permit me to sincerely commend the chairman of Committee on Public Accounts and his esteemed team for a very detailed report, comprehensive, and the resolution in the report are equally very detailed. It's a job well done, and I will not stop without appreciating the clerk of the committee. It can't be any other one than Adetunji. This is a well-presented report. Please keep it up, everyone that are involved in the presentation, compilation, and everything that has to do with this report. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, permit me to move the motion for the receiving of this report. And let me move further. Or is there any comment, observation?
No comments.
Just commendation. Everybody are commending you, Mr. Chairman. Commendation, commendation, commendation. So permit me to move the motion. The report has presented and the resolution in the report be adopted as a working document of this assembly. Distinguished colleagues and society.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I would like to second the motion as moved by the leader of the House that the report submitted by the chairman of Committee on Public Account Committee PAC on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General for State on the account of the Oyo State Government of the Nigeria for year ended 31 December 2020, 2021, and 2022 respectively be received, and the recommendation in it be adopted by this honorable House.
Well done to the chairman and the Committee of Public Accounts for a thorough and good job. A motion has been moved and duly seconded that the House do receive the report as sent by the chairman of Public Accounts Committee, and also that the resolutions and recommendations within the committee be adopted by this honorable House. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, next colleague. Next item on the order of the day paper is a motion. Motion on the need for the executive arm of government to recruit additional forest officers into the Oyo State Forestry Department under the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources to reactivate zonal offices of the department across the state for enhanced service delivery. OYHM/10/137/26. The Honorable House takes cognizance of challenges being faced by the Department of Forestry under the Ministry of the Environment and Natural Resources, which include inadequate manpower, poor logistics, non-availability of operational vehicle, and other with a view to urge the executive arm of government through the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources and Civil Service Commission to put necessary machinery in motion to initiate the recruitment of adequate forestry officers and support staff to the department to reactivate the zonal offices across the state for efficient service delivery. Honorable Sanjay Adedoyin, Ogunso South, Leader of the House. Honorable Bamidele Oladimeji Adeola, Ìsẹ́yìn Tẹ̀síwájú. Honorable Ohe Ogunsola Iwajowa and J. Ogundele Orire, co-sponsors.
Please, the sponsor present your motion.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, permit me to present the motion.
Go ahead.
Motion on the need for the executive arm of government through the executive arm of government to recruit additional forest officers into the Oyo State Forestry Department under the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources to reactivate zonal offices of the department across the state for enhanced service delivery. Honorable Sanjay Adedoyin, Ogunso South, Leader of the House. Honorable Bamidele Oladimeji Adeola, Ìsẹ́yìn Tẹ̀síwájú. Honorable Hoye Ogunsola Iwajowa and J. Ogundele, co-sponsor. The House note that forestry administration in the whole western region gained prominence during the era of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, when structured forest reserve management was established to promote environmental sustainability and economic development. This proud legacy of structured forestry governance deserves to be sustained and built upon by successful administration in Oyo State. Further note that forest reserve play a vital role in environmental protection, climate regulation, biodiversity conservation, and economic development. The effective management of such reserve is a constitutional obligation of the state government under Section 20 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as author, which mandate the state to protect and improve the environment. Aware that Oyo State is endowed with several forest reserves, including Oluyole, Ijaye in Akinyele local government area, Oso, Igangan, Lanlate, those are in Barapa, Ogbomoso, Oko Iro in Ogbomoso, agricultural farm settlement in Ogbomoso, Olasende in Saki, Opara in Igbeti, Wewe and Gambari, with Gambari being the most functional of all the reserves in the state. The total forest estate in Oyo State cover approximately 346.604 acres, requiring effective and sustaining management and protection. Further aware that the forestry department currently has only 83 personnel managing forestry operations across the entire state through 4 zonal offices located in Saki, Ogbomoso, Erua, and Ibadan, Moniya, Akinyele local government area. This number is grossly inadequate relative to the size and complexity of the forest estate. A significant proportion of these officers are at or near retirement age, with many already retired from service, leaving critical operational gap yet to be filled through fresh recruitment. Observe that over the year, many of the state forest reserves have suffered severe degradation due to illegal logging, bush burning, unregulated grazing, and encroachment by land speculators and farmers. Tree covers in some reserves are falling below 40%, while areas such as Okpara Forest Reserve are reported to have less than 30% tree cover remaining, a situation which portends grave consequences for the state ecological balance and climate resilience. Further observe that the 4 existing zonal offices of forest department have become largely non-functional or seriously weakened due to inadequate staffing, poor logistics, absence of operational vehicles, and retirement of experienced lower cadre officers, including forest guard and ranger, who constituted the backbone of field operations. Without a deliberate effort to revive these zonal offices and replenish the workforce at all cadres, particularly the lower cadre responsible for day-to-day patrol, monitoring, and enforcement, the state risks losing its remaining forestry conveniently. Concerned that the forest department is presently faced with serious operational challenges, including inadequate manpower, shortage of professional and technical staff, insufficient forest guard, lack of operational vehicle, poor logistic support, and the absence of hazard allowance for field officers. Forest rangers are overstretched with few personnel covering vast forest area, thereby weakening monitoring and enforcement capacity. Failure to urgently address this challenge will result in further environmental degradation, accelerated climate imbalance, and significant economic loss to the state through the depletion of timber, non-timber forest products, and ecosystem service. Further concern that continued retirement of officers from the forestry department without corresponding recruitment of replacement has created a generation gap in the workforce, with institutional knowledge, field experience, and operational capacity being lost faster than they are being replenished. The lower cadre of the department, comprising forest guard, forest ranger, and technical support staff, who are most critical to physical forest protection and on-ground enforcement, have been the most severely depleted. This situation, if not urgently addressed, will render the department incapable of discharging its statutory duty and responsibility. Resolved to hug the executive arm of government through the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources to initiate a structured and systematic recruitment exercise into the Oyo State Forestry Department, giving priority to the lower cadre, including forest guard, forest ranger, and technical field officer, to replace personnel who have retired from service and to bring the total workforce of the department to a level commensurate with the scale of the forest estate under its management. And B, in collaboration with the Oyo State Civil Service Commission, to develop and implement a comprehensive manpower plan for the forest department that will provide for regular recruitment cycle, career progression, pathway for forestry officer at all cadres, and the introduction of hazard allowance for field officer exposed to occupational risk during the forest patrol and enforcement duty. And C, to reactivate and strengthen the 4 existing zonal offices of the forest department in Saki, Ogbomoso, Erua, and Ibadan at Mania, by providing adequate staffing, operational vehicle, logistics support, communication equipment, and office infrastructure necessary for effective and efficient zonal management of forest reserve across the state. And D, to encourage and support the development of structured forest regeneration and restoration program across degraded reserve in the state, with other targets for tree cover restoration, implementation timetable, and provision for community participation, particularly in reserve where cover has fallen below 40%. And 2, through the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, to make adequate budgetary provision in 2027 estimate for the recruitment of forest officer, procurement of operational vehicle and equipment, and revival of zonal offices for forest operation. And through the Ministry of Information and Orientation, to embark on statewide sensitization and advocacy campaign on the importance of forest conservation and the danger of bush burning and the penalty for forest-related offense under existing law. And 4, to intensify enforcement against illegal logging, bush burning, encroachment, and other acts of forestry degradation, and to ensure forest ranger and guard are adequately equipped, protected, and supported to carry out their enforcement duty without hindrance. And 5, to constitute a special task force of forest protection comprising Forest Department, Oyo State Security Network Agency, Amotekun, Nigerian Police Force, and local vigilante group to combat illegal logging, encroachment, and bush burning in all forest reserves across the state. And 2, the House Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development to interface with the Forestry Department in the Ministry of Environment, Natural Resources for further legislative action where necessary, including the review of relevant law and regulation governing forestry administration in Oyo State, to ensure that legal framework adequately support the effective management and protection of the state forestry estate. And 3, the House Committee on Finance, Appropriation, and Economic Planning to investigate and audit the internally generated revenue for forest reserve in the last 5 years and report to the House within 4 weeks to ascertain leakage and ensure proceeds from timber and non-timber produce are properly accounted for. Mr. Speaker, the colleague is begged to move.
A motion has been moved. Honorable Olavi.
The Right Honorable Speaker, members of this distinguished House, I rise this afternoon to second this motion. Need for the executive arm of government to recruit additional forest officers into the Oyo State Forestry Department under the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources to reactivate zonal offices of the department across the state for enhanced service delivery. I so second, and I would like to lay 2 or more statements in addition to the fact that this motion has come at a very good time. The insecurity we are experiencing as a state and as a nation has a lot to do with our forest reserves. It is unprecedented that the majority leader himself has to read this motion. And we have to have it in mind that the insecurity is actually touching every part of the country, and each one of us as a leader from our constituencies. The engagement of more staffs should not only be the priority. Staffs that will be engaged for forests, as foresters in the states in Nigeria now, should not only be trained, should be a little bit equipped. Because you can see cases of terrorists attacking forest officers, collecting arms from them. We are dealing with an insecurity that we never planned for. It's here to stay with us, and all hands must be on deck to face the insecurity encroaching us from our forests even to our towns and urban areas. So I rise this afternoon to second this motion and plead to this House that this motion has to be taken as urgent as possible, and the Committee of Environment has to do a lot of work, because if we are talking about security, our forests have to be very safe. Thank you, and God bless you.
A motion will be moved and duly seconded. The amendment to the resolution I believe that is 1D. Or let's just say 2. There will be 2. The resolution 2 that says that the House Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development to interface with the Forest Department in the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources for further legislative actions where necessary, including the review of the relevant laws and regulations governing forest administration in Oyo State to ensure that the legal framework adequately supports the effective management and protection of the state's forest estates. I believe we discussed this in the matter of urgent public importance in a way. They are related. So let's give this assignment also to the other committee, the joint committee between the security, environment, and local governments that are going out already, rather than asking the Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development to interface with the Forest Department and the Ministry of Environment. And ordinarily, isn't it even supposed to be the Committee on Environment that should have been saddled with this responsibility in the first place, rather than Agriculture? Because this has to do with the Ministry of Environment. So in any case, I believe that was, maybe it was a mix-up, because that rarely happens. But for the purpose of having everything in together on the same vehicle, let us give this responsibility also to the committee that was constituted in the last motion. So there's clarification as to why the responsibility was given to the Committee on Agriculture, and rural developments is that initially forestry was under the environment before it was moved to agriculture. Before it was moved to environment, it was under agriculture before it was moved to environment in the first place. I remember maybe it was 2019 that we had that situation there. So that is why the Committee on Agriculture was actually put forward. But in any case, it doesn't matter because we've decided that it should be, this assignment should be given to the other ad hoc committee that comprises of the security, environment, and local government. So this finding should be part of what you should look into. That being said, the motion has been moved and duly seconded. Those in favor that the motion as presented by the Leader of the House, Honorable S.A. Onalapo, the content of the motion to be approved and the resolution to be adopted as amended, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Leader.
Mr. Asuka, distinct colleague, I'd like to move for adjournment of this thing till Tuesday, 23rd of June, 2026 by 10 a.m. Distinct colleague, as a summary.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I write to second the motion as moved by the Leader of the House.
Yes, before putting the question, I would like to use this opportunity to congratulate honorable members on surpassing your third year in office. At this point now, we can say that we will be counting down the last year, and then for those that are coming back to the house, or that aspire to come back to the house after during the general election, I pray that God helps you and that you're able to satisfy your constituents and your constituency as a whole. As part of the major achievements of the 10th Assembly of your state, I feel like it's important for me to just read out some of the achievements of the House. It's important to note that the 10th Oyo State House of Assembly was inaugurated on the 14th of June 2023, determined to exercise its legislative powers to fulfill its responsibility in lawmaking, oversight, and representation. As we all know that that's our major responsibility. The followings were recorded as an achievement in the last 3 sessions of the 10th Assembly, in line with the legislative agenda of the 10th Assembly and Roadmap of Sustainable Development 2023 to 2027 of Omitutu 2.0. It is important to also note that we have now commenced the 4th session of the 10th Assembly. So far, 36 bills have been passed into law. 276 resolutions have been passed to the executive arm and other relevant arms of government for onward implementation and are being monitored by various committees through oversight functions. It is also important to note that the post-legislative scrutiny, the PLS units, have conducted a PLS inquiry into the Open Rearing and Grazing Regulation Law 2019 and the Oyo State Security Agency Law 2020. The Security Summit was also organized due to the insistent and recurring security challenges in the state. And it's also important to note that 9 public hearings have been conducted on various bills that are under consideration. Hopefully, before the end of the 4th session and the end of the 10th Assembly, we would have many more achievements to read out. So to speak, it is important to know that for any aspirations of members within the Assembly, whatever it is that you like to achieve for your constituents, whatever motion, whatever bill, whatever laws it is that you like to pass, or motion you like to move, or the impacts you like to have on your constituency, it's important to understand that we have 1 more year to achieve this. So I encourage members across board that we should intensify our efforts even more than the previous 3 sessions that we've had so far, in order for us to be able to meet up with our goals and objectives for our constituents and our constituency. God help us to achieve this. That being said, a motion has been moved and duly seconded that the plenary be adjourned until Tuesday, 23rd June by 10 a.m. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.